You're watching TheStreet.com TV. This is Wall Street Confidential, and here as my special guest today, filling in for Jim Cramer, is James Altucher. You also do videos with Jim.
Yeah.
So well, this is a nice transition.
Yeah, no, but I've been wanting to do videos with you, and I feel honored to be right here in Jim Cramer's very chair.
Well, I'm excited for this particular video, James, because, you know, I've watched you introduce James Cramer as, you know, the host of Mad Money, the co-founder of TheStreet.com. He wears a lot of hats, but as do you. You founded Stock Picker, which is phenomenal. You're a contributor to Real Money. You own a fund of hedge funds, and you're on CNBC all the time. You're an entrepreneur with a capital E. So I want you to take me back to when you were first starting. You're 39 now. For aspiring entrepreneurs out there, well, let me ask you this. What are some regrets you had starting out? What do you wish you would have known?
I can't even begin to tell you. There's so many regrets. Can I tell you a story? We have time for a little story here?
Yeah.
So back in, I would say it was 1993, 1994, I was always working late at my job. This was a computer software job I had in Pittsburgh. And I really wasn't working late. I was just playing games on the computer or whatever. And this guy in the office next to mine.
Chess?
Yes, I was playing a lot of online chess. So the guy in the office next to me, though, he was always very busy. And finally, we run into each other in the hallway. And I'm like, what are you working on? And he's like, well, you know, I'm working on, you know, I'm using this technique I have to read documents and classify them by, you know, is this document about politics? Is it about sports? And I said, that sounds, you know, whatever. That sounds kind of boring. And he's like, well, I'm hoping to get government funding, you know, and right now I'm using it to sort of read random pages on this new thing, you know, the web. And there was maybe like 200 or 300 websites then. I was on the web. This guy was on the web. And he said, I'm really hoping to get government funding. And I'm like, whatever, you know, good luck with that. And I was thinking, he's just ridiculous. So the name of his computer was lycos.cs.cmu.edu, and he called his little application Lycos. And he went on to, you know, he made about $200 million off of it.
We know that.
We were both like grad students at the time, and, you know, so that's a regret. Basically, every idea being worked on around me ended up being like $1 billion company. And, you know, and there's so many different things I could have been involved in or started. So those are regrets. Like,
so the lesson is be more risky, be more instinctive?
Well, we all knew the internet was going to be big, and so I took my own route on that. And so what I did was, nobody had a website then. None of the Fortune 100 companies had a website. So I went to each one of them, and I said, let me build your website. And I built up a company around that. We had about 100 employees. We were a great company. We had, you know, clients were Time Warner, Sony, BMG. We did all the entertainment companies. We did Miramax.com, TimeWarner.com, you know, all the Matrix movies, websites. Wow. We did all the rap labels. We did all of their websites. I had Old Dirty Bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan calling me up about his website. So here's the problem. Here's the regret I had. I had no business sense. So we were actually profitable. We were enormously profitable, as opposed to all my peers were putting up unprofitable companies and taking them public and everything. So when we finally sold our business, we sold it on a multiple of earnings. How stupid was that back in the 90s?
What should you have done? You should have just sold it?
No, we should have
shopped it around?
What we should have done was we should have raised a lot of money. We should have repackaged ourselves as a pure software company and taken our software and say, hey, you can use this, sort of like a vignette or a broad vision, to build your own websites, rather than taking our tools and just doing all this consulting. So instead of being profitable, we should have been unprofitable, gone public on that basis, been like $1 billion market cap, because nobody knew how to value these unprofitable companies. So that's my second regret. I have many more regrets, but we could fill up like a half hour of just regrets.
A man with many more regrets, but I think you turned out okay.
Turned out okay. So, you know, I don't regret where I am right now because I'm sitting next to you having this conversation, but, you know, in general, there's a lot of things I could have done along the way where I learned, you know, and now I feel like I could, if I had to do it again, I would have done it a lot better. But, you know, every step of the way there was regrets.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here, but James is going to be back with some more tips for entrepreneurs. James Altucher here. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
You're watching Wall Street Confidential on TheStreet.com TV. I'm Farnoosh Torabi. Don't go away.